Hello, and welcome to our second, is it annual? Did we do this last year? Second
No, we didn't
annual.
know. Last year was when Dom took it. Yes, this is
Second annual fight for the server. Today, competing for ownership, Connor has challenged Dom, the incumbent server owner, but coming from behind with a steel chair is Pyro, looking to reclaim ownership of his OG server. The game that has been chosen by Pyro through a random dice roll is Brawlhalla. Don't know what the fuck that is, so we're gonna find out. Let's go to our challenger. Connor, how you feeling, buddy?
You know, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. I just gotta say, I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my family who's been there to support me. Fighting my blood. I know I'm gonna crush this today.
All right, and
Thank
if you
agent, thank the towel, thank the chair.
And if
Get
you
on
are
over there.
awarded server ownership, what will be your first act of business?
That's a good question. Good question, Liv. I think my first act of business when I take over the server is going to be kick everyone out of admin and run it briefly as a monopoly, a dictatorship.
Okay, interesting choice, interesting choice. How do you think your supporters will feel about that?
My top supporters who stick through me will be reappointed into admin. That's how I'll make a clean transition to power.
All right, and have you had any experience playing Brawlhalla before today?
I played one match 2 days ago against a bot, and then it was a different fighter. And then 10 minutes ago, I started using this fighter.
Okay, and what's your strategy?
Don't die.
Don't die, an excellent strategy. Let's go to our original server owner, Pyro. How you feeling tonight, Pyro?
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh. I have nothing else, I'm tired.
You have nothing else, you're tired. If you are reappointed your original server ownership, what will be your first act of business?
Nothing.
Nothing. And how do you think your supporters will feel about that?
Pretty calm, and the vibe will be chill.
Pretty calm, and the vibe will be chill. Interesting. Now, this game was your
Loss
choice.
that
Am
brought
I?
about his downfall will return to him.
That's
again.
fair enough. Now, this game was your choice. What kind of experience do you have playing it before today?
I have played an amount of Smash Brothers. I will not hitherto reveal how many times a certain Voxcaster in this one dared assail me with his bastard creatures. But I know that whatever happens, that twink in the corner is going down the hole with me.
Okay, the twink in the corner is going down. So is that your strategy? Is to focus down the twink in the corner and then surrender to the current server owner?
I didn't say surrender. I just willingly accept the help. Also, I would like to. I've been informed by aforementioned current champion that he cannot talk, as there is shit happening behind him currently.
That is really tragic. Now, would you consent to having him send you his answers for these interviews and you speaking them in his voice?
I can't say whether or not I can do his voice, but I can
I'll do his
Foghorn
impression.
Leghorn. No. What say you, my erstwhile grunting
How
friend?
are you feeling tonight,
Sure.
Dom? You are the current server owner. How are you feeling tonight about this competition?
That's his response.
That is his response. Wouldn't surprise me. While we're waiting on his response... Oh, do we have it? Do we have it? Let's hear from our agent in the field.
I report back to the reporter in the studio that he has not touched this game since 2021. He's still confident.
All right, still confident. Well, that answers my second question. Hasn't touched it since 2021. Do you have any particular strategy you are looking to employ, or are you going to be keeping those cards close to your chest? While we're waiting for his response from our agent in the field, let's get an eye of our spectators here, Shane and Marcel. Now, I know Shane was here for the last one, but Marcel, I don't think you were with us last year when we did this before. How are you feeling being here for this?
I don't think I knew any of you last year. I am excited.
So glad to hear it. So glad to hear it. Now, Shane, we really enjoyed your thoughtful, insightful commentary throughout the match last year. What do you think you'll be able to offer this year?
Looking at about 40 seconds of broadcast on this game from the Steam store website about a minute and a half ago, I don't know what the fuck I could possibly tell you about this game as it's happening on the screen. I don't think I watched a single person die in the amount of time that I was watching it, and then it just ended. So we'll see if lower tier gameplay is viewed differently and much more clear. But from that outlook so far, we could say that I will probably be making up 90% of the commentary for at least the first few rounds.
And that is wonderful. Now, Pyro,
This
have we
just
heard...
in from our lovely, lovely current champion. He will plan on left-clicking lots.
Lots. Excellent strategy. Now,
He doesn't even use his keys.
one last
Do you
question.
use the mouse in this game?
Now, one last question for our incumbent. If you are able to maintain your entrenched position as server owner, do you plan on making any changes to your current pattern of leadership? Now, as you can see while we're waiting on this last little message from our agent in the field, you can see the Pyrotechnics, the original server owner and returning challenger, is currently with a random hero. Is that what they're called? Heroes? Fighters?
Yeah, you might as well call him that.
He is
Fighter
currently
hero
equipped with a
character.
random hero who looks like a bald-headed baby. We'll see how that works out for him. Now, Core, Liquid Switch, the current challenger that has spurred all of this on, that has very little experience with this game so far. He is in there with Core, a sort of rock-based, tower-looking champion. We'll see how that plays for him. I see on the side it looks like he has some sort of strange shield and what looks like a maul as his weapon.
Those are knuckles.
Those are knuckles. Awful, I hate it. He looks to have a pretty high strength and defense stat, but it looks like his speed and... is that to hit?
Dexterity.
Or dexterity are a little bit lower, especially his speed. That seems like it's going to bite him in the butt because Wu Shang, Primarch, our reigning incumbent Dom, is in there with the high dexterity, the high speed, equal to his defense, and boosted strength from something. I see that little bit of a green bar at the end of his attack bar there. So, he has knuckles and what looks like a spear. Oh, Pyro's choosing a legend. Let's see what he chooses. Do we have any word from our agent in the field yet?
Jokes.
Oh,
Just jokes.
Rising from the platform.
I will be, as soon as I win this, I will be demoting the up-and-coming Viscount. Apparently he's gotten too big for his britches.
oh no! The current reigning champion speaks and makes threats. Well, we had better hope that you do well. Are we in need of any more preparations before we get started? Let's hear from Dom.
No.
Let's hear from Connor.
I'd like clarifications on the win conditions. Is it just winning one round, or are we doing multiples?
So the win con is this is going to be a best of 7. And since there are 3 of you, that will give us plenty of content to milk.
There we go.
That's
Best of 7.
Interesting.
Let's hear
Alright.
from Pyro.
It's time to...
All right, it sounds like it is time to go.
Gentlemen,
That means he's picking the orc one, right?
To be honest.
He's still set on random. Best of luck to you, gentlemen.
Shall we deafen ourselves?
That might be for the best. I'm going to continue using this voice.
And I am going to continue mauling you guys and this game as you play it.
I will continue to just be here because I...
All right, it looks like Pyro is starting the game. He's voting for a map. If Connor doesn't come back from wherever he is soon in about 3 seconds, he's not going to have a
Turn
vote.
my mic away so I can see better.
Okay.
Temple
The
Ruins.
Temple Ruins. We have Pyro
Queen Nai.
championing Queen Nai, Connor championing Core, and Dom championing Wu Shang. Let's see
Somehow,
how we
a
do.
character is slower than the literal building with legs, but we will see how that works out. Okay, so it looks like, for the most part, Pyro has taken the advantage of early of getting the spear. Never mind, these things get dropped really fucking fast. I'll take that back. Alright, let's see. So, it looks like Pyro's character has good reach, but very slow maneuverability. Let's see if he can utilize that. He took a baton to the face. It seems that... Okay. So...
He doesn't
what
appear to
the
be
fuck
using his
even
initial
is all
strategy of
that?
just nailing the twink in the corner.
He seems to be getting boxed back and forth. He doesn't really have much of an opening from the looks of it. He keeps throwing away whatever weapons he gets. Everyone keeps doing that, apparently. I guess that's how this game works. You just throw
Very
shit.
interesting gameplay.
Alright, so we get Dom getting the first blood off on Pyro, and then instantly a second kill on Connor.
I love
He
the
gets
little
dropped
Koopa
back in.
Troopas dropping them back off like in Mario Party.
Okay, so
Everyone
it
needs
looks
their little
like
minions.
they need to get a little more effort in utilizing what strengths that they do have with their weapons. So with this weapon that Pyro's character currently has,
Oh no!
he
And Connor
manages to
has
just
been
fall
knocked
to his
off.
death.
But he's got a bomb!
And
And
it did nothing.
did
it
absolutely
missed.
nothing.
Well, the thing about projectile weapons is you have to aim them, usually.
Typically.
It looks like when you
Oh,
get
and
the
what's that that's
close-range
been dropped
weapons,
from the sky? Look what
you're
Core
supposed
has.
to focus on getting
Is
in the
that a
combos.
mine?
No one here really seems to understand
Oh!
what abilities that they have.
That's okay,
Yeah,
neither
like-
do we.
I would like for them to at least start learning as they're playing. And
Oh!
Dom gets another kill. He
And
has
Dom
3
still has all
left
3
so
of his
far.
lives.
I won't count Connor falling to his death as one of Dom's kills, so he has 3 of the 4 kills.
Should
so
I
far.
take out a piece of paper and mark this down?
I already got you. I'm ahead of you.
Amazing, Marcel, proving yourself a valuable asset.
Well, considering that we're going for victories in this best of 7, it's not necessarily, and he finally gets taken down, it's not necessarily about who gets what kills, it's more of who is the last one standing to be the victor of the round.
I
don't
see.
think, with how quickly people are getting dropped, I don't think timing out is going to be a problem. And this is kind of where the problem arises for Pyro, as he picked a random character. He
Oh
probably has not
no,
played
there's
before.
Connor knocked
doesn't-
out in the first bout.
He doesn't understand what his characters can really do, or the maneuvers. That hitbox was very questionable, but I don't play this game, so...
Now I'm going to admit something about myself, gentlemen. I have never actually played Smash Brothers or any of those sort of games. It was not one of the ones I had on the N64 as a child. I was very into Mario Party.
Well, there goes Dom. This is win.
Dom
we
takes
have
the first.
victory.
That'll be round 1.
As we see, he has 6 KOs already, which is curious. A lot of deaths earned from just comboing towards the edge of the field and getting kills.
He also had the most damage done.
It seems that... He's viewing scoreboard. It seems that it would be best if people would take the early stages to try to learn what combos are available to them, because in games like this, combos are kind of the thing that gets you the win. You can't really just flail around. It's not really like Mortal Kombat. You can't really just hit the uppercut button until someone's dead. You
And here we
really
see
need to
Connor
know your
choosing the
combos.
same hero as before.
So hopefully, if he does stick to a single character, that would eventually have him learn the ups and downs of that character's moveset and maybe get him some later stage victories. But we'll see about that. Was that Helltaker?
It kind of looks like him.
He's in the same.
I have decided to.
All right, so it looks like we have Pyro with Orion, Liquid Switch, Connor staying with Core, and Dom currently on Dusk but has now moved back to Mordex and is looking at switching skins.
Now that's their stances, it looks like.
Or some
seems
form
to
of
be-
stance.
So it seems that the stance lets you take some stat out of one stat and focus it in a different one, which will probably change their playstyle. Like if you go for a more dexterous build, you're probably playing for more combos. It looks like he traded some movement speed for that.
He has chosen to go with the brown wolf though.
He did
let's
change the
great.
skin.
Let's get to this.
Let's get to round 2. Dom has currently taken the first victory of the competition. Now let's see what stage we
He
get.
only
We
needs
gotta vote
3
for
more
random.
victories to keep his current reign.
Is that how a best of 7 works? I was confused on that.
Yes, 4 is the greatest of 7.
Gotcha.
So for the best of 7, the second that someone reaches 4, it's over.
Heads up, this one's gonna be wild.
This
There are
map
no
is
stages.
absolutely tiny, so this means... Okay.
Oh, we already have a
Yes!
fall!
My
Oh
keyboard just
no!
glitched out. All right.
So unlucky that he has an instant drop, but we'll see what he can manage on this stage. This stage is heavily designed for people that understand spacing and understand combos, so we'll
Man.
see how that works for him. See if he can bring this character. He took the dexterous, which I imagine is for combos, so we'll see how that works for him.
It could have been the break that the two needed.
They do have to worry about him much less because of an extra stock off, but this map is in-your-face business, so it could very well turn the tide of anyone who gets good footing and good,
Looks like that could turn very quickly.
what's the word? Good neutral. Although I'm not sure if neutral works the same this game as it would with any other game, but
Looks like
Oh,
everyone's
and
first
we
for more
have
something.
Connor falling off once.
and Orion, aka Pyro, getting credit for that kill.
Oh
Ooh.
no!
Dom is down to his last life.
Dom down to his last stock because of the fluke in the beginning and a well-placed bomb by Connor. We'll see how that turns out. If he can be knocked out in this match early, that would make it so that his first upset of the tournament is not as crucial to each of the other
And there
players.
goes
Oh,
Pyro,
no.
killing himself.
Pyro gets an ill-seated dive straight down and manages... Oh. Pyro getting rid of the weapon so that his opponents cannot get harmed.
It's an interesting strategy.
I think he just wants that lance.
That lance does give him quite the maneuverability and reach, but it does leave him quite slow. If someone gets on top of him with a combo weapon, I imagine that would spell disaster. Up like that, Connor gets a few good hits in.
It
I
also
have no
seems
idea
to
what the
be
fuck that was.
preset in the distance it travels, so if he puts himself in a bad spot and launches forward, he could launch right off the edge into oblivion.
Jumping seems to be much more merciful in this game than other games of this type, so I don't imagine he'll be at much risk for flying off the edge.
And there goes the lance.
He gets rid of the Mechano Lance for a more classic type, reaches the edge
Oh
of that.
no, and Connor is now down to his last life. We currently have Pyro at 2, Connor at 1, and Dom at 1.
And Pyro almost killed himself again.
This stage seems to be very unfortunate for most of this. Oh,
And now
Pyro
we have
gets-
Pyro
no.
down to 1. This is a much more even match with this stage. I believe
Pyro
Dom
gets
was
his Mechano Lance
correct
back.
in Dom's
Connor-
initial assessment that this stage would be crazy. He seems to be correct.
Dom has been rocking this.
And we have Dom knocked out
And
by
airborne.
Pyro.
Connor discovering that thrown weapons in these fighting kinds of games are pretty ridiculous as you keep tossing them over and over. But unfortunately, his throwing weapon despawned, and now he is stuck on these fists The Pyro's lance gives him the edge
Oh!
with the range, and he gets the knockout and takes this round.
Well, Connor
must
does
admit,
have
this
the
is one
most
of-
damage done, but this
The-
was much closer than the previous match.
I have to admit, this is one of 2 characters I know how to play.
And it worked for you.
Oh, Pyro.
So you're saying this was
leading
your
into-
plan the whole time?
He
You fool,
went
I
with
wasn't
the
even-
random to trick you all into a false sense of security, of
You
course.
fool. I made
the first
mistakes
match.
We
before.
have
but I'll be
Dom
taking my
playing
final
as
form.
Yasuo from League of Legends.
No, I think that's Yone.
Well,
No,
no,
that's
you understand
Yasuo.
that it's not Yasuo because he is not old, and they made him old now.
According to the most recent cinematic, yes.
A recent cinematic has turned Yasuo into a grandpa I would like to fuck, apparently.
A gilf! Shane has admitted he is a gilf. He is a
Yes.
gilf fucker.
They have gilfed Yasuo in the recent cinematic, but we're not here to talk about League of Legends. We're here to talk about Brawlhalla and all the little things that I don't understand about this game. Pyro has now opted to play with a defensive stance. The one guy from
do you-
Invincible, from the Martian guy.
Alan
No,
the
isn't that what was that?
Alan the
Osmosis
Alien.
Jones. He's playing as
How do you-
Osmosis Jones.
How do you set your stance?
Not
I thought that was
Yeah,
stock from Pokemon.
You have
when you
to
choose
unlock
your
them.
character.
Ah.
There's like a stance thing.
So we have
Ah,
Osmosis
Connor
Jones,
Discovering that
Sunshine
this
Drow
game is
Dommy
paywalled
Mommy.
behind unlocks. Not really, but so
really.
for our next match, we have Alan the Alien, played by Pyro, with a defensive stance, getting rid of some of his offense. We'll see how that works for him as
Lord
a highly
Varax.
gifted character. Then we have the Bee Bitch, played by Connor.
Sippy's mom!
Sippy's mom.
Sippy's mom has got it going on. She has a big fucking sword, but it seems that she gets rid of defensive and movement capabilities to do so.
Who's
And
that?
last
Roy
we have-
Doonstag.
Last, we have that one guy from that one anime with the Death Scythe. I can't
Soul
remember.
Eater. It's called
No, not that
Soul
one.
Eater.
No, I think you're thinking of Angels. Was it Angel of Death? Angels of Death?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
The guy that wants to kill his best friend all the time.
That's all
Death Note?
anime.
It doesn't matter a whole
I think I
lot.
went
He
to
looks
middle school
edgy
with
enough.
that.
I think what's funny here is that what you're describing is so generic, where you're like, oh yeah, we know like 7 animes that could apply to.
That was the
Alright.
point.
Yeah.
We'll see what stage we get.
We could
Oh,
The
have
back
Temple
to the
Ruins
Temple Ruins
again.
with a random.
Oh,
Dom at 1 and Connor at 0.
So we will see if the stance change on Pyro is enough to
And we're back to
offset
the original stage.
the damage. And instantly, the bee moves in, gets a combo off. Nyx has gotten his scythe. That
And
scythe
Dommy
looks like
Mommy
he
has the
a
big
decent amount of
sword.
reach. He picked up 2 guns. And of course, the guns are melee because it's fair and balanced. Fair and balanced
Osmosis
gameplay
Jones
in
is
Brawlhalla.
used his
And
guns
he-
as a boomerang.
Of course, he's got the same fucking weapon. I imagine this is the second character that Pyro knows how to play.
Oh no, we could have. Oh, and he's recovered.
The recovery on this stage is a lot more.
It is a lot more forgiving. That is very true.
The stage on the last one had much lower floor, so you could fall a lot more.
I will say, I truly don't understand how health works in these types of games.
So typically, health is done by you take damage from attacks, and the higher percent of damage that you have taken, the more launch back that attacks have to launch you off the stage and kill you. So you rack up damage with low percent combo moves, and then you go for hard-hitting finishers to take out the stock.
Like
That was
that.
a perfect
All
example.
right.
Yes. So he had been getting hit by all these small attacks that didn't really move him much, and then strong, hard-hitting,
Which is
slow
what brings
attacks
up
to
those
finish
little
them off.
things over here. I see.
Yes, it appears
Fascinating.
that in this game you can determine how much damage they've taken in the upper right corner with those bars that are turning red, orange, and I believe they start out white.
It does
Yes.
appear that they start out white when they get regenerated and at the beginning of each round.
So, currently, Pyro, as the stock lead, although he is greatly damaged, a well-placed hit from either one of the other two would easily take him down. But Pyro
But
is
it
trying to get
doesn't
as
seem that
much...
they've been able to get a well-placed hit off on him. He seems to be doing
Oh,
very...
there he goes.
Oh, that
Oh!
almost got him, but
Oh, he
I don't know if
recovered!
DI is a thing in this game, but it looked like he was
Oh.
able to survive.
Oh!
So,
Oh!
in this scenario, any damage that Pyro manages to get off is good because he is already set ahead. He'll make use of the life that he has.
And there he
and
goes!
he gets taken down. So now, because of the advantage that he got while he was a stock ahead, both of them are extremely weak and killable.
Like that.
Like that. And he can now
Pyro
take advantage of this
Picks
by
up his
being
trusty lance
aggressive.
again.
He's gotta have the trusty lance. It seems to work very well for him. It's a solid strategy so far. It's
From
paid
the current
dividends.
HP, it would be good for him to try to take out Dom and finish off this stock if he could get a hit in, but he needs to be careful. At low percents, you are much more susceptible to being comboed because you don't have much knockback, and attacks will not launch you so they can chain them for more percents in order to get you into that kill range.
That makes sense.
He is currently
So-
bullying Connor, though.
Connor is getting...
I mean, he
absolutely
did
shafted by
he
these
did
lance
list
attacks.
that as his initial strategy was to take out the twink in the corner. So I have to say it's not surprising altogether.
He quickly switched to dual pistols, and he is back to the lance.
But
I
now
think
we
he's
have
doing that more
Dom
to get
out of the
rid-
scythe and into the dual pistols. And back into the scythe very quickly.
I wonder if they have energy levels like they do in other games.
I don't imagine that there's an energy bar to worry about with these weapons. I think it's more of, can you utilize it in the situation that
Oh,
you're
and
given.
Dom is down to his final stock.
So Pyro's lance got taken away from him. I believe
And there is
And
Connor
Connor's out.
knocked out again.
Connor is now knocked
Fascinating
out of this
playthrough
stage.
here
It is
tonight,
between
gentlemen.
Dom at full HP
We have a good old-fashioned standoff
and
now.
Pyro with a stock up, but he is still damaged. One well-placed shot will even out this match between the two. Pyro needs to get in there. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to get as much percent as he can while he has the stock advantage, or it will be an even fight, and that will be much more intense and much more dangerous for Pyro. He needs to get in there and get good hits off while he is capable. Okay,
Oh!
an eager smash attack from Pyro gets him destroyed. So,
Dom
in-
defending the weapon.
Dom trying to keep him from getting his trusty lance, but it looks like Dom's weapon is a much better combo machine. The lance is a much more distance-focused and single-hit weapon.
An efficient
So-
knockback tool, but if you can't get within him to do the knockback, it doesn't seem to do much good. They do seem to be
Well-
at about equal percentage of damage taken with Pyro
A
slightly lighter
well-placed
yellow.
toss. A well-placed toss of that scythe stopped Pyro in his dash, but unfortunately he focused more on picking up the scythe than possibly trying to combo with fists. I don't imagine how efficient fist combos are, but it would have... Oh! Because, a well-placed shot. He ditches the weapon trying to go for a last-effort finisher.
And almost...
Pyro getting his pistols back up versus... He keeps going for that
Oh!
eager... keeps
Oh, no,
going
it
for that
froze on
eager
my end. He
attack
got
with
back
the,
up.
the front shot, and it keeps missing, and he gets punished for it. So Dom has taken this to his advantage.
Oh!
And Dom takes the second round.
We have another knockout. I
Dom
have to say,
takes the
gentlemen,
third
this is
round.
much more entertaining than Overwatch was last year.
Well, I think
Granted,
that's just because Overwatch is boring.
Overwatch
You're so
is
right,
boring
friend.
in a 1v1 scenario. Granted that the game is balanced around teams of 5, I think. 5 or 6, I
Wow.
can't remember. But
Used to be
It's five
five.
now.
It used to be 6. Now it's 5. It's stupid.
Interesting number.
doesn't matter a whole lot. Either way, this is a team or a free-for-all aspected game, and we're much closer
Oh
to
no!
Connor has had to drop out real quick. Something went wrong with his internet, I take it.
Hmm.
But games like this are more interesting in terms of this how they're designed. Overwatch, not so much in the 1v1 department. Granted that there are characters who are built to just win 1v1 scenarios, because 1v1 scenarios are not really meant to be happening in games like Overwatch. Sure, you can have an assassin sneak up on somebody, but of course that's in their favor. They're the assassin. So, we have Dom going with Yubiko with a strength stance. We have Liquid Switch, Connor, going for Bodvar. I don't know how to do that accent.
Bidvar.
I believe it's a
Mustache Viking.
So basically how the umlaut works, I'm dropping my reporter voice. Basically how the umlaut works is whatever vowel you're taking, you say it in like an E space. So you try to say an O, but with your mouth forming an E, so you go Bidvar.
Bidvar.
It's weird.
The Viking, played by Connor.
I spent a solid week
You
and a
seem
half
to be-
in Norway, and I did not get that down whatsoever.
Connor's playing a much more balanced character. And then we have
The freebie one.
Pyro. Pyro playing Ulgrim, the crack gnome, it looks like. It looks like a blacksmith, actually. And he is a very damage and... Well, actually, he's well-rounded in quite everything other than combo potential, it looks like. So we'll see if Pyro...
What are the scores
regrets
looking right
that.
at?
Again, we see him with a lance, though.
Currently, Dom has taken 2 of the sets, and Pyro's taken 1. The challenger himself, Connor, has taken none. We'll see if he's able to change that in these coming rounds.
This is
Currently,
where
he's
having the
taken
randomly decided game really seemed to make a difference, because we know that if Connor had been able to choose his playing field, he would have had a solid advantage. But unfortunately, with this game, he does seem to be at a bit of a back foot.
Like I
I'm
said-
doing my best.
Like I said, it would probably be best for some of the people who haven't played this game as much to pick one character and try to learn them in the early stages to see if that learned potential could get them further in the set. But no one has taken that into consideration and have been going apeshit wild on whatever they could pick.
Now,
Which, of
this
course,
is
I
an
don't
interesting
mind.
map.
So it seems like they're playing on a large sword. Yumiko getting the first weapon. Seems to be a bow.
And we do have
we get the
Pyro with
lance.
his trusty lance again.
We'll see how much combo potential that this bow can give. It seems like distance is its advantage, but distance is very easy to close in this game. I'm not sure how good a bow would be.
And we have Connor with a large one-sided hammer. The other side being slightly single-clawed. This music on this stage is bopping.
So everyone here seems to be focused on movement. Not many people really moving in to try to get big combos. It's more of hit-and-run tactics. Dom
We're
has
also seeing a
taken-
lot more movement onto the handle and hilt of the sword at this point, when
Oh.
before we had spent a lot more time on the blade.
Connor finally gets knocked out by a well-placed hit from Pyro. Now all 3 of them have big swinging weapons. We'll see how they bat each other back and forth. Pyro seems to be very eager on trying to place a smash attack, or a heavy attack I should probably say. This is not smash. He seems to be placing heavy attacks hoping that someone will walk into them. He doesn't really seem to be going for reads, more of just response.
I believe he has one move, and he is choosing to stick with it.
And you know, it seems to be doing something. Whether or not that something is successful, we have yet
It
to
has won
see.
him one of the rounds, so it can't possibly be the worst thing to do. He waits and
Ulgrim is dominating, having knocked out Dom, I believe, twice.
no, Dom's only been taken out once. Connor has been
Taken
twice.
out twice, thank you. It does get
So-
hard to track with them changing heroes constantly.
This stage seems to be favorable if you can get them to the edges of the blade.
Yumiko currently just holding their ground and getting absolutely bodied for it.
Connor has finally picked up a combo weapon. We'll see if he's able to get anyone into one.
Without falling off the edge of the stage.
Well, to be quite honest, a combo weapon will probably do you some good at the edge of the stage because you'll be able to bounce people off the
Oh,
wall.
and Connor is knocked out again. It
Continue
seems
his
that
0-win streak.
it seems that
Connor.
Pyro's initial strategy of knocking out the twink in the corner first does seem to be paying off because so far Connor has been, if I remember correctly, the first knocked out in each of the matches.
I believe that is correct.
I would like to apologize for my earlier policy. I'm the libel of the media claiming that I was going to run a dictatorship in the event of my winning were false. I'm taken out of context.
I think you're a little late on that one, but
I mean, we have the tapes. Nothing has been edited, as you can see.
That's just what the liberal media wants you to think.
This
As much
truly
as I think
is
it's funny to make
neutral.
fun
I
of the
have no
liberals.
dog in this hunt. I have no claim to server ownership. Truly,
get back
if
to
things
the
stay
match.
the same,
Pyro has managed to disarm himself with an eager attempt. He had the advantage as he had a weapon and Dom did not, but he threw it away in the wrong direction. Like
the
I said,
controls on this game seem to be quite interesting.
they seem to
typically
be
shouldn't
very,
be, but I
very
don't know what they're
slidey. But like I said, Pyro keeps gunning for the heavy attacks set up outside of range, hoping that they wander in. He's trying to go for the reads, but he's not actually putting any reading into it. He's more of blindly opening the textbook and throwing it out the window.
And he is getting rather high up in percentage numbers.
And
And
there
there
he
he is again.
He gets
Dom is
comboed.
now at win 3.
Oh, if
One
we
more
have
and he
one
will
more
take it.
win, then Dom will keep his incumbency. I think I would like to bring a vote to the Council of Spectators. That would be myself, Shane, and Marcel. I think that we should have, if Dom wins, simply a month to go by before anyone can challenge again. What say you, gentlemen?
I thought this was a first
A
of the year
year.
thing.
It's a year.
I thought it was an annual
It-
thing.
Well,
is
it was a
it is
year when
long.
someone new took over. But if we have an incumbent, we could change the ruling. It is up to the council.
Alright, that's it.
I think if he wins this, we will have to wait until the next year for the next challenge.
Then
I
that
do
is
think
the
that is
decision of the
reasonable.
council. Rayman!
Yeah.
What?
Pyro,
go back,
Ezio!
Pyro.
What fucking
Original
game
with
is
Orion.
this?
You know what you must do, Pyro. Together,
It's-
brother.
It seems that
The alliances.
the wayward challenger who has racked absolutely
Remember.
0 wins in the tournament so far
He
is
was-
now trying to reach out to the one
Perhaps.
that he so recently forced out of leadership. He is now looking for a bond against
Perhaps
the
I
current
was too
reign.
harsh on you.
And perhaps I should have aimed for the head.
It seems that his alliance was declined, as Dom is just silently picking his next character.
I'm far more familiar with Zariel from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the leader of the first Hell of
I don't think
Vernus.
that's.
This is clearly not the same one.
Either way, Connor
We
going
also
back
now
to
see
core,
Connor back to core, but
listening.
now in gold.
listening to my advice quite
And
late
Pyro
in
back
the-
at
in the
Orion.
game.
Just
Pyro
Oh, it
back
looks
at
like we
Orion.
have a new stage here.
Just to have us up to date as we go in, Pyro is at 1, Dom is at 3, looking for match point, and Connor is still at 0.
That is correct.
The board is set. We are at check. If Dom plays his cards right here, he could slide right into a checkmate, gentlemen.
Or will the two look for that unlikely team up and push us to another game?
So this stage from the combat I've seen so far, this stage heavily leans in Pyro's favor because the lance is very good at upward strikes. And this stage seems to be quite small, so heavy attacks at a lower percentage will have more of a threat. So Pyro does have the advantage with the stage pick. We'll see if he can keep that advantage. Not if he really throws away the weapon that gives him said advantage, but we'll see if he gets it back or if he's able to utilize this other spear. It looks like Zariel has a similar... Oh! Pyro gets a well-placed spin for a double, placing him a stock above the other two with a decent health bar to boot. He's not in the red, he's in the orange, which
And Connor knocks himself out with a fall, putting him at 1 stock above Pyro's 3 and Dom's 2.
So somehow Connor managed to off himself. I wasn't even looking at him because nothing was happening near him. And
He
I was
fell
watching
at the
Pyro.
bottom of the screen. You'll see it again in the playback.
Google, show me this guy's replay, please.
If only
Anyway.
we had.
If
Pyro
only.
gets his-
And
Pyro gets his first stock taken down, but the match is heavily in his favor at this point. Both the stage and his weapon choice, as well as the high percent on the other two. All he needs to do is keep the pressure on, keep the damage coming out while he's ahead, and try not to make any blunders like falling to your death.
I think that was the first combo I've seen Pyro throw this entire stream of
well, he
games.
hasn't really needed to. What he's been doing has served him quite well. We have Dom in a dire percentage and Pyro just now starting to get there. We also have Connor in that same percentage on his final stock. Oh, will he get back? And he makes it back in the ring and
The
knocks
downside-
Dom out to his final stock. But there goes Connor, knocked out by
Connor's been
Pyro.
taken down. And the thing that I was
We have
about
a
to say will show itself. Connor's, or Pyro, I should say, Pyro's method of throwing out heavy hitters is very much diminished when there's no other players on the field because he is the primary focus, and it means that more effort can be put into dodging his individual attacks and responding to missed attacks and distances. So when Pyro knocks out Connor, it serves more as a detriment to him because his
As we can
his
see by him
maneuvers
knocked
as
to his last stop.
gunning for reads such as that is played against him because missed attacks that are heavy like that leave you very vulnerable. You need to stay on your feet and try to get light moves and light combos in to get these percentages up.
Oh,
Currently, Dom has the combo short-range weapon. We'll see if Pyro's able to respond. As you can see, the percent just keeps getting racked up on Pyro because he is not able to deal with the pressure.
my
of a
heart is
combo
in my
with
throat
weapon.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I
I think we're coming in towards a closer.
He shot him like an arrow. That was actually pretty hilarious. Oh,
And
hit.
Matt,
that is a
places the
check
game, set,
and
match.
mate.
Christ.
Baby,
Unfortunate.
I'm sorry.
Connor has managed to do 184 damage in 3 stocks.
With
Well, more
two
of
falls.
stocks, as one of his deaths didn't even count as a player kill. It was counted as an accident. No one got credit for it. That is tragic. And that places Dom, the current server owner, at 4 wins out of the best of 7. The only contender being Pyro, who had only racked in 1 win, and the challenger, Connor, had done 0 wins and was by far the least contender of the match.
Double.
Double
Now,
or
I
nothing.
will
Dumb.
bring up
Dumb.
semantics again. Would a best of 7 not be 5?
No, it would not, because once you hit 4, that is the
There's only 3
majority,
matches
and you
left.
cannot beat 4 out of 7. If you get 3, you can still have the majority with that 4th win, but once you hit 4, you cannot surpass that.
Dom 1v1 me in Magic for my right to keep my adminship.
We have a secondary challenge issued on the podium from the 3rd place winner.
You and I both know.
Connor, grasping at straws here after being finessed in whatever.
I have an
game
idea.
it is.
I have an idea.
He is reaching out to Dom to keep his
Hang on.
adminship for
Hang
his
on.
failed attempt of
Given
deposing
Your
the
failed
Emperor.
coup once more. I think you need to come through me to get to him.
No.
Now hold
He's
on,
the
hold
boss.
on,
I don't need to
hold
go
on,
through
gentlemen.
shit for you.
I think we all know what Connor is truly trying to win with this 1v1 in Magic from Dom, and it is not the retention of his adminship. Connor, if you would like to do the honors of admitting your true goal here today.
I don't think I will, Liv. I think any lies by the media are just to besmirch my name. And
Dom, would you like
discredit
to
me.
share what Connor has asked of you as a secondary prize to this championship?
Was there some under the desk dealings happening?
Yes, there was.
The usurper was searching for more than just the crown. He was searching for information, as one would say.
And
What would this information be?
My last name.
Well, I felt a little more anticlimactic than I thought it would be.
That's insanely anticlimactic.
Good.
Considering how private you are with even your first name, the shocking revelation to only one person of your in real life last name is in fact a big deal.
Much like your average fake creature, Connor derives power from knowing the names of his friends, and Dom has steadfastly denied him this information, and it bothers Connor on a deep intrinsic level. Given that he can't even get past me on the leaderboard.
I am weak.
You are weak.
Now, Dom, as our incumbent and reigning champion 2 years running, you do have the option to accept the usurper's challenge, either for your name or for retention of his adminship, but as the reigning champion, you are not required.
Well, I believe we need some more details here. Are we talking about Untapped?
Challenge you. Well, Untapped, from what I could see, was just like a companion. I didn't see any actual game with it.
Yes, let me show you.
While they're doing that, I believe.
If so,
this is
yeah,
the
I'll
end of
throw
this
together
video.
a deck I've played before.
Oh no, this stream has ended. Cricket noise.
Hold on, just a second,
Okay.
sorry.
This will be a separate video.
I mean,
feel
yeah,
like we could do some editing and merge those two together. Maybe some B-roll right here. You know.
Well,
I'm
you
just
build a
keeping it
benchmark yourself.
rolling. All of this is going on the recording. I'm just keeping it rolling, boys.
I have better photo editing skills, but I can take my crack at video editing if you send me the file later.
I
I'm saying
certainly
field
can.
space now.
Exactly.
I'm glad that you guys managed to distract me with watching whatever the fuck that gameplay was for the last, 30 minutes? As my download for the Terra private server has been going quite well.
It was very entertaining.
And no one has heard that it has bricked my computer yet, so it's at least halfway reliable.
Your computer is
You'll
all
call
bricked
that
up on a
Once
Thursday?
you open the application.
Once I open up the application, I get spammed with a whole bunch of Russian adverts, and my computer proceeds to
Untap.in.
reach about 200 degrees Celsius. What am I looking at here?
Yes, what is this?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering? We're
Yes,
about to watch a couple of nerds play cards at each other online.
I would like the record to show everyone here
This is
is a
what Connor wants.
certified nerd.
This is the battleground I was going to
Bryce
try and fight
is
him
good at WoW. I think if you have to make something that says that you are good at WoW, that means you are in fact not good
Look,
at WoW.
let's just all thank our lucky stars that Fergus hasn't walked in and said dissection.
I think that would add a whole new level of spice to the game, don't you, gentlemen?
No.
You see, the moment
Okay,
that
now I can
Fergus
make a deck.
decides to grace this chat with his presence, it will not be to just give us some of the Fergus
You're playing
lore.
Commander?
It will
Yep.
be to castrate Connor for possibly canceling again and deriving him of his well-needed lifeblood of playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Game password calls.
I'm learning the controls, so give me...
Connor again choosing a
ADH.
game where he is not entirely certain.
Oh, I know Magic. I just have to figure out how to input my things.
It's the interface.
Yeah.
Now, if I had my way, we'd be playing Hearthstone. But
Oh god, I gotta look
Now
for
the
each
interesting
individual
thing
card.
is, Pyro
find
was
mine.
the
I'm
one
just
to
gonna-
suggest and vote for Brawlhalla. So he
Pyro.
suggests that if he'd had his way, but as we can see, if
first
we
time.
look back in the chat when the dice roll happened,
Yeah.
number 1 was Brawlhalla, which was
Yes.
Pyro's choice.
yes, because Hearthstone was the obvious choice, because Connor usually tries to get in my head. So I chose the second choice I had, which was this one, and I doubled down on it, knowing that both of these gentlemen wanted to play Magic together, and I would just throw it in the towel then, because no.
And how did that work out for you, Pyro? Are you satisfied with your decision?
Yes.
No
I-
way you're playing Umrath. You dirty scumbag.
Look at that little rat.
It's Dat! Dat's back!
If we're doing
Already
that, I'm
boys
getting
have fear.
70 Jeweled Lotus, motherfucker.
Now,
I thought you were about to
hello.
import some Pro deck, and I was about to be like, shh.
I have
you
never
wanna
heard
mess
more
around?
grassless behavior than in the last few seconds. Why is there Shyvana in Magic the Gathering? League has their own card game. Just go play that.
No.
That's not
You
the
know-
Shivana. That is the Dragon.
Now,
keep
hello.
this
I
keep
have
this on the
joined this-
recording. For next year I will join this conquest for the
Oh, boy.
server rights. And not to actually own the server. I could care less about that. But I will find a game that I can torture the three of you in, and you will all witness.
So League. Here, pick one.
No, too easy. If I were to choose League of Legends, I could probably put the three of you against me at once.
Besides, Vanguard's already in there by then, so, you know.
Yeah, Vanguard will be there, and I won't.
Now,
Who knows? Maybe I'll force you guys to
This
play
is the
Symphony of
Commander,
War.
Connor.
you know what? Thing is,
I'm going to force
lied.
you all to
Well,
play
so-
Dance Dance
Okay,
Revolution
one of the
musical
One of
theater.
the rules of the game being picked was
I
that
think that
the
would be a good
majority of
challenge.
contestants had to already own the game or the game be free.
Well, I'll figure it out one way or another.
no. Here's what we do. We gotta play Total Warhammer 3.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you guys want that either.
What? I can take Ikiclaw and his gun line and his gun line and his gun line. You know
The
how I'll
thing
do
is,
it with
the
my
gun
gun
line-
line.
The gun line doesn't work against players. The gun line excels against the brain dead AI. You can use guns, but they're used much differently. You can't do the gun line. And of course, they are super weak to summons
That's really useful.
and artillery. Either way,
Yes, you do hear me fishing on my actual deck to just copy card for card what I built.
We don't own a lot of games that we
mark
can
my
do
words.
We'll find
I
some.
will join the next competition for the sake of blood sport.
Alright, see ya. See ya.
And we are
see ya.
very excited for this, though we will miss your insightful and entertaining commentary.
Oh, trust me, depending on what game it is, I can commentate at the same time.
Excellent. Wouldn't want it any other way.
Realistically,
I am not the greatest at commentating.
if the game wasn't kibosh like many other games I loved, I would put forward Evolve. I love that game.
I don't think
Well,
that'll work. I'm pretty sure those servers are gone.
You can still play Evolve. You would just
It's
have
just
to find a way to get your own server to like connect everybody together, which honestly would not
Bob the
typically be
Frog.
worth it. I mean, it could be done, but there would have to be another contender because it would have to be rotating monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
the-
Also, Pyro, just for that on that ban, I would be banning the fourth monster, where the fuck his name was. Him on the stage 2. You couldn't even kill him.
I told
You're
that to Connor.
You're talking about Bob?
Bobby!
You're talking about Bob, yeah.
Behemoth!
The roller.
Roll.
Honestly,
I remember him.
the Bob was the worst one when he was released at stage 2, but once they balanced him a little more,
Is that the word we're using?
I mean, as much as you could get balanced in Evolve.
Once you got Torvald and you could actually use that fucking thing.
The one who was the worst at stage 2 was just the Kraken. Not the Elder Kraken, the regular Kraken. Yeah. Because his fly rate was huge and he'd just bombard you.
What was the the evolved looking not behemoth, Goliath, the blue one with the antlers?
It was called the Meteor Goliath.
Okay, it was Meteor, okay.
And he wasn't that much different than the regular Goliath.
It was just better.
He had higher damage output, but he wasn't as durable. But if you worked against a good team, that's also why Evolve couldn't really be used in a competition, because the 4 would have to work as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there would be a conflict of interest for the most part.
I think the game I'm going to throw in next year is CS.
Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You fucking animal. You know damn well.
It's free.
Everyone has it. Free. No, it's fucking free.
Look, no, Counter-Strike is a good way to do it, because it's perfectly suitable in 1v1 scenarios, and you would have both teams jumping back and forth between C and T.
Oh, right. You never played a shooter with me. Okay. I really...
You're just ass.
Yes, I'm terrible at shooters.
Trust me, I can't play CSGO either.
I can.
It can be learned.
You know what? Fuck it. If we're going that far, at least make it fun for me. Let's play Rainbow Six then.
Hero. I've spent a lot of time playing shooters. I can coach you.
You have a year.
You have a year and a chance CS gets picked.
A chance.
I was considering throwing in Civ.
Ew.
I don't know if that's.
We don't have that kind of time.
That is very true.
It is quite literally competitive.
It is quite literally competitive, but it is quite literally competitive with all of the multiple games that we have never finished.
Are you still?
It's tough. You're welcome to forfeit anytime you want.
Using the voice, yes.
Like I said, snooze.
No, I'm not
as far
pausing
as
the
I know, still recording.
I'll take a look at my Steam list and find some.
You know, you could have just paused the recording.
Absolutely not. No. This is more fun.
What is this going? You know, this is the gap girl going up on the Patreon. Yes.
That's funny
again,
for you to mention, but all of this is going up on YouTube.
I could make it so that no. I wouldn't buy that for everybody.
That's Slimer on the field.
Actual physical contact.
Quick.
Ghost Council.
Give Marcel access to the Dice-aster so he can post his campaign.
We have not recorded the first 3 sessions. 2.
That is very sad.
The prologue. That is the prologue, sir. We're in it now with our new line.
We have sadly missed the interesting introduction of them taking a lion that I meant for them to kill.
We adopted the Nemean lion.
Yes.
You adopted the Nemean lion. How is Hercules ever going to finish his trials now?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
That is tragic.
I'm taking a look at my game list. I'm trying to find interesting ones for like PvP scenarios. You got
Gentlemen, for real, how much longer do we think it's going to take before we're going to play the game?
A while. I'm about...
A while.
That's what
they're sorting through their virginity decks. It's gonna take a while.
The virginity decks. Well, then I will pause the recording.
I have
He's already chosen the rats.
What a shame.
I have the deck in my hand, Dom. If I could just... speed scan it in, I would. But I gotta go through, because each card's unique.
Pause,
I gotta
then.
go through.
Well, we are back
I'll
within
hold on
2
for
minutes.
this
It
later.
seems we are not going to have time for our individual 1v1 match for the right for Connor to earn something from Dom. Whether or not Dom will give him his last name, retention of his adminship, or a good dicking down, that is to be determined at a later date. Thank you so much for joining us.